Welcome to Tackle Talk Live, dedicated to making you a better fisherman. Proudly brought to you by our sponsors: The Boat Shop, 3J's Four-Way, Pride Rods, Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle, The Lakes Insurance Agency, V&M Baits. Now on to your hosts, Ranger Daiwa Pro Staff Steve Graff and V&M Baits President Kevin Jean.
Welcome to Tackle Talk Live. Thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate it. As I'm sitting here with V&M President Kevin Jean, I'm Ranger Daiwa Pro Staffer Steve Graff, and we're here to talk about bass fishing. That's what we're going to talk about today. And even though I'm telling you guys, white perch are biting, because Sibley Lake right out here behind our back outside these walls has been covered up with crappie fishermen. So evidently the crappie are biting right now. But if you're a bass fisherman, guys, you want to tune in today, because I'm telling you right now, we got one of the best interviews coming up. Guys that caught them this past weekend, the Outdoor Outlaws Circuit Team Trail, they caught them this weekend. And Kevin, Rayburn is on fire right now.
Yeah, you say that, and I think it is.
As far as numbers.
Yes, as far as numbers go, as big fish goes.
Yeah.
I mean, it took over 16 pounds to get a check in the Outlaw Team Series tournament this weekend.
Right.
There was just eight bags weighed in over 20. So it's getting better. The weights are getting better. The big fish are I think, slowly moving and starting to move around a little bit. I think this Toyota series over there this week, if we don't get more rain and don't keep getting muddy, I think they could hit the nail on the head this week over there.
Well, and the lake, and speaking of that, the lake is on the rise. I looked at it this morning, and it's only 1.2 feet low right now, which that means, and it's come up like 6 inches or 10 inches in a week.
Yeah, it's coming.
So it's on the rise right now, and I guess that's, we've had some steady rain, but we ain't had that much rain really right here. We've had some steady rains, but not kind that's going to cause the lakes to jump
right.
up.
No, it's not, but it is.
Toledo's still 3.5 feet low.
Well, yeah, and they're generating on Toledo.
Yeah,
they're
that's
24/7. Rayburn, they're not. Lakes rising. The last 3 to 4 weeks, I mean, since January 1st, every week, there's been big bags caught. We had a 40-pound stringer caught,
right.
But there's always been like that big bag and then 1-2 other 20-pound bags, and then on down. And, I mean, you look at this 29-pound stringer Wednesday, there was a 26, a 24, a 23, three 22-pound bags, and a 21.96. So, yeah. I mean, it's starting to look like Rayburn is supposed to look January and February over there.
And as you allude to, I think looks like 28th place, which was the last check, took $16.92 right at 17 pounds just to get a check. So, again, that's what we're used to seeing at Rayburn. And, again, in my opinion, and Kevin's, both of us, it's probably just going to continue to get better unless we get a major cold front come through and shut everything down. But right now, I don't see anything in the forecast for 10 days.
I don't see anything coming. I think it's fixing to happen. I really do. And I'm hoping it's going to happen on Toledo Bend.
Yeah, and we just came off a full moon.
Right.
So the next full moon, it could really be on fire over there. Yeah. So, but anyway, but we're going to have the Hayden Heck on with us here in just a few minutes. And before we do that, we're going to recognize some of our fine sponsors that we have right now.
The Boat Shop. Mr. Raymond Kidd and his staff take great pride in keeping your boat and motor performing at its best. A certified Yamaha and full support Garmin dealer offering the best in electronics and the new Garmin trolling motor. Stop by 2410 Sanford Avenue in Shreveport and let the Boat Shop take care of all your boating needs. Or you can give them a call at 318-402-0399.
3J's Four-Way, Cypress Knee Outdoors, John Abraham and his guys down there doing a tremendous job just south of Natchitoches. Exit 127 off I-49. Any of your fishing needs that you've got, hunting season's basically about over right now, but he's still got a lot of shot. If you want to stock up for next year, let me give you guys some advice, you hunters. If you're looking for ammo for next season, you better start stocking up now, especially you rifle hunters, because it could be really hard to find, as it's already hard to find. But if he gets it in stock, you better make sure you get yourself loaded up with it for this next year. So, but all the bass tackle you would want, great brands from V&M, Strike King, the top name brands in the business. Make sure you get out there to Cypress Knee Outdoors, 3J's Four-Way. Got a great deli, great food, pick you up a sandwich, pick you up a Crispito, whatever you need there, and tell them Tackle Talk Live sent you.
And Pride Rods, American made and custom built right there in Montgomery, Texas. The finest rods ever made by Mr. Billy Kistler, constructed with the finest North Fork composite blank by Gary Loomis. They carry all your freshwater and saltwater applications for spinning and casting rods. Stop by your local tackle store and pick one up, or simply ask about Pride Rods. You can also give them a call at 832-418-6040 or go to priderods.com.
And if you're looking for information on Toledo Bend, look no further than Keith's Tackle over there just across the Texas side on Toledo Bend. Those guys have got a wealth of knowledge. They between him, Keith, and Ben Matsubu, both working there. Keith, of course, owns the shop, but they both are avid anglers, so they're on the water a lot. They'll give you accurate information. They're not there just to sell baits. They're going to get you, put the right baits in your hand of what's going on right now, and they'll even have information for Sam Rayburn on your way over to Rayburn if you're passing through Toledo Bend. So stop in there. Stock up on whatever you need. Spinner baits, jigs. They got the V&M line of jigs in there. They got a great selection of all top name brands. Make sure you stop in Keith's Tackle, not just for information, but for all your bait and tackle needs.
The Lakes Insurance Agency is an independent insurance agency that has been taking care of Texans' insurance needs for 25 plus years, offering auto, homeowners, boat, recreational vehicle, life, health, and commercial insurance. The owner, Clark Moore, is a local guide and tournament angler who understands your insurance needs as a boat owner and wants to be your go-to guy for your insurance needs. The agency is located at 805 Southeast Stallings, Suite 3 in Nacogdoches, Texas, and you can give them a call at 936-205-4467.
While Kevin's getting our guests on the phone, I'm going to kind of give you a highlight of today's program, what we're talking about today, other than talking to Hayden Heck and how they won the tournament Outdoor Team Trail. We're going to have the Toyota Series predictions from me and Kevin, what it'll take to possibly win that. Bayou Outdoors Boat Show tournament results. It was a 2-fish tournament. Had 2 guys that came in with 2 really quality fish, and we'll talk about that as well. And we're going to talk about getting registered for the ABA Solo Tour, the new 150 Solo Tour. That's going to be a great trail. Looking for anglers right now. Need people to get in this to really build this thing up. And so they're looking for registration people to sign up as we speak. So it's not full yet. And also, we'll talk about getting registered for the Bass Cash Bash, which I did last week. So, PD, I'm looking forward to getting to Rayburn this next matter of fact, I'm headed to Rayburn tomorrow. Hopefully, I can catch me one of them tag fish.
They had a tag fish weighed in the Outlaw Outdoors Team Series, and he was not registered. It was a fish that he weighed in.
Don't be that guy.
Was not registered. Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy. All right. We got on the phone Hayden Heck. Hayden, how you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. How's it going?
Doing good, man. Well, congratulations, man, on your big win over there. Wins are hard to come by, especially at Sam Rayburn. And anytime you get that 28, 29-pound mark, boy, you're always right there in the hunt. Unless, somebody, for my luck, somebody's going to always come in with a 38 to 40-pound bag. But right. not this time. 29 won it for you guys, and $11,000 win. So congratulations, man.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Hey, so you had a 29-pound bag. You had a 1027 big fish. But my question is, in the picture they posted on Outlaw Outdoors, you guys wasn't holding but 3 fish. You had the 10, and your grandfather was holding it up. What was the other big fish?
I go up there and we're pulling them out of the bag, and they both look so dang similar. I just kind of handed him one and said, "Well, weigh this one." So we're not really sure.
So you never. I mean, so there's a possibility you guys had 2 10s?
Yeah, I thought we were coming in with 22, 23 pounds. Then he says 29, and I realized, oh, dang, those are both big ones. So
you was off a little bit there.
Yeah, just a little.
Oh, I was a lot. Yeah, me and Grandpa are heading down to weigh in, and I'm thinking, well, maybe we'll get top 5. We got 23 pounds here, so it was a shocker for sure.
Now, Hayden, how much practice time did you guys put in? Are you real familiar with Sam Rayburn, or give us a little background on your experience on Rayburn?
Yeah, we moved out here about a year and a half ago, and we came out here pretty much. The main focus was to fish tournaments, guide possibly, and just try to make a run and making money fishing. So we've been out here for about, like I said, a year and a half. I've been spending a ton of time out in the lake, pretty much trying to get out there at least 4 or 5 times a week ever since we've been here. I probably put about 25 hours on the motor this month just looking for these fish. It took a lot of time, and I found them. It's kind of crazy. These fish have been hanging around for me for over a month. Found them January 4th.
Wow.
And, they've still been out there. So it worked out right. We rolled up 2 different areas, got a big one first cast, and then went to another spot, caught another big one.
Okay, wait a minute. Time out.
You caught a T on the first
Your
cast.
first cast of the day, you caught the 1027.
Yep, Grandpa caught that fish first cast of the day.
That's the way to start the morning.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I had to make sure I was hearing you correctly.
That don't
there.
happen every day.
All right, so you caught the 1027, and take us back through it.
Well, what was that?
I said you caught the 1027 first cast and kind of finished taking us through your day.
Yep, so then we just sat around for a little bit. Then we moved out to another area out deep, and shortly after that, probably sitting there for just 5 minutes or so, there comes another one, that second big one. And then it was a struggle for probably 3 or 4 hours. And we didn't really want to go and try to go up shallow and try to figure out how to catch the little ones, because we were just, hoping to weigh in a mega bag, because we've been catching them lately off of these areas.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you've got 2 that are close to 10 pounds apiece. You've got 20 pounds in live well with 2 fish.
Yep. So we just kind of sat out there for a while, and we were struggling to get any more bites. So eventually we went up shallow, caught a couple more little ones to fill out the limit, and then right at the end of the day, I ran back to one of the areas and caught that. I don't know if it was 4 or 5 pounds, but somewhere in there. And just kind of made the day for us.
So Hayden, the 2 big ones, you said you caught the first one, the first cast, and you moved a little bit. So they're not on the same spot here.
No. We had 2. I had 2 spots that I saw the fish on Friday when we were pre-fishing. I went out there, idled around looking for them, and we saw them on 2 different areas. And we moved to the second spot, and there came another big one. So, somewhere in there.
I'm sorry about that, Hayden. We had some
technical
noise going on
difficulties.
here. So is it, now let me ask you this, and we're not, and Hayden, feel free to tell us, guys, I don't want to give that information out. There's a lot of huge tournaments coming up on Rayburn that I know you're fishing, so any information you don't feel like giving us, feel free to just say, guys, I don't want to really give that information out. So, but we're talking here, and you're talking about graphing them, and, it's a deep spot. So what depth are we talking here?
Yeah.
They're both at 15 to 20 foot.
Okay.
I don't really think it's a special, 16 or 17 foot. It's just they're using these areas, and they're there one day, gone the next. So it's just kind of got to time it right and hope they're there when you show up.
Is there a certain, and you don't have to tell me what it is, but is it so, I mean, if you catch 2 10-pounders, it's obviously you've got something dialed in here.
Right.
So is it something off of a point? Is it structure down there?
Both these areas are just points. They're
Gotcha.
just kind of harder bottom, but they're just points. It's really, there's so many of these spots out there. So there's probably something else to it down there that I can't see off the unit, off the graph. But yeah, there's 2 spots. They're just both points, mid-lake region, and those big ones are sitting there.
Now, is this an area that you said they've been there since January the 4th, but is this an area that over the last year or so the fish have constantly been there?
Like I said, on January 4th, when I first found them, me and Gramps caught a 38-pound bag off that spot, and we just left it shocked, and we're thinking there's no way that these fish will stay here, but they were still there. And I've come back a couple times through it, caught a 12-pounder off of it a couple weeks ago. So we've just been I knew they were there. It was just seeing if they were going to bite for us, cooperate.
What does your boat look like? What color what are you running? Because
it's a hard one to see, so that's what I'm glad about. I ain't got no colors.
There you go.
Colors anytime soon.
Well, they've always said when you put a wrap on a boat, boy, everybody knows where you're at. Then there ain't no secrets then. So you need to stay incognito there.
So Hayden,
right.
are you going to be able to fish the Toyota event this week?
No, I was planning on fishing them, but I don't know what's going on. I'm having some problems with the electronics right now. it's just for some reason they just keep going out, hitting little bumps and whatnot out on the lake. So don't want to mess around and go spend the money to go fish that and not have my map running. So we're going to be skipping out on that one for now, but hopefully the next one we'll be able to make it.
Well, are you looking to fish the ABA 150 solo tour on Toledo? It starts on Toledo. The second one's on Rayburn.
I probably won't be doing that. I'm just kind of trying to focus on Rayburn for now. Yeah. But eventually, definitely.
Gotcha. Well, Hayden, so, and I wanted to get to this, and you kind of alluded to it earlier. You moved here, you and your grandpa moved here from California about a year and a half ago. I know me and you have talked kind of a little bit about this, and I met you last year at the Toyota event. Was it the Toyota or Bass that you won the co-angler event at? It was the Open.
It was the Bass Open.
Yeah, it was the Open. I was there at the weigh-in because I was actually there with Gleason at the weigh-in, and I met you there and kind of heard a little bit about your story. So kind of take us through it for the viewers who hasn't heard. So you and your grandpa just up and moved here from California.
Yep, we made a pretty quick decision there. It was pretty crazy. It was like literally over like a month. We flew out here twice around Sam Rayburn to look at some houses, and within 2 weeks we made an offer, and we were out here really, really quick. But yeah, I mean, it was just we knew we wanted to get out of there. We didn't want to be there still. So. Well,
let me ask you this. I mean, there's other lakes in it. There's Chickamauga. There's Lake Eufaula, Alabama. There's Lake Fork, Texas. Why Sam Rayburn?
You know, over the years, I've just heard all this stuff about offshore fishing and blah, blah, blah. And that's always what I grew up doing. Growing up in California, we'd fish a lot of really clear water, anywhere from like 60 to 80 feet deep. And people were always talking about the whole offshore game out here. So I was like, well, I know there's a lot of tournaments out here and whatnot, so let's pack up and head to Rayburn.
yeah, every weekend.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy.
So you're just, I mean, you're a local now, obviously, and you're going to try to make it in the tournament scene, or are you going to try to do some guiding? What's your plans?
Well, we're going to try to fish tournaments here for a bit, fish during the tournament season, but then when tournaments aren't running, I'll be starting up guiding next season here.
Hey, let me ask you this, a comparison. Are there any lakes in California that would compare to Rayburn in terms of pressure and the number of events going on every single week?
You know, not the whole tournament thing, but yes, I thought, okay, we're coming to Rayburn. It's a gigantic lake in Texas. We're not going to have to deal with all these people, because growing up in San Diego, there was tons of people on those little tiny lakes.
Yeah.
And I was sure wrong about that.
Yeah, little did you know.
Yeah, it's just as bad, man. It's crazy out here. But you just got to kind of figure out that little bit something else, when everybody else is out there too.
Yeah, you got to zig when everybody else is zagging.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, hey, man, we just want to say congratulations on a heck of a stringer, heck of a tournament, and the big fish, possible 2 10-pounders,
oh my gosh.
and a 12-pounder from a couple weeks ago. But anyway, congratulations, man, and hope to hear your name some more in the future.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks, guys.
All right, that's Hayden Heck, partner of Kenneth Berthelot. I guess that's Berthelot.
That's Grandpa.
That's Grandpa.
That's Grandpa.
It's Grandpa. And so, again, congratulations to those two guys. Here's a guy, Kevin, that just basically came out of nowhere, California, and decided to dedicate himself to learn that body of water and become a good proficient angler on it. And it just goes to show you, it can be done. You can come in there and beat some in locals, but you're going to spend your time on the water.
You can, but like you said, now he's been here a year and a half, and he's on the water 4 to 5 days a week.
Right.
And I've being around the tournament stuff, I've heard his name come up. The first time I met him again was at the Open last year when he won the co-angler division. Actually met his grandpa sitting there with him too. He is going to be the real deal to deal with coming up at Outlaw. And I know coming up at Rayburn, Clint Way from Outlaw Outdoors told me, he says, this is a guy that you'll probably interview a lot with Tackle Talk Live over the next couple of years. Yeah. He's starting to figure it out. He's starting to figure out how to fish Rayburn. And when you give somebody who's obviously that good that amount of time on Rayburn, I mean, he's he's going to be tough to beat.
Well, it's like the old saying goes, there's no substitute for time on the water. I don't care. And he is living proof that that's what's led to his success as of right now. Kevin, let's go over what we're going to do top 10 here. Anthony Wagerspack and Jimmy Lloyd finished second with 26-17.
Colby Ferguson and Hunter Sanders finished third with 24.06.
Eric Brigman and, just Eric Brigman by himself finished fourth with 23.77, had a big fish of 7.72.
Mark Mueck and Caden Mueck. I think I'm saying it right. If not, guys, I apologize.
I think that's a good.
And fifth at 22.73, had a bunch of 22-pound stringers here.
Joe Wilkerson and Daniel Toops, they came in sixth with 22.53.
And seventh, Hunter Gothia and Blake Hansen with 22.10.
And eighth place was Chris Dibernardino and Larry Cotton. They finished eighth with 21.96.
And ninth, Ben Ballard, Nick Massey, 19.46.
And 10th place was Kevin Pragine and Shane Pragine and Kevin Wolford. They had 5 fish limit, 19.18.
You know, Steve, when we go down through this, and again, you know, to get paid all the way down to 28th place, $16.92. So there was 1, 2, 3, 4. There was four 16-pound bags that did not get a check.
Yeah, and here's nothing that got my attention. I looked down the list here. How far down did a 5 fish limit come in? Let's see here. I'm looking down the list here all the way to 105th place. 105th place had a 5 fish limit. Now, again, there was a lot of teams that had small 5 fish limits.
They just didn't weigh.
They just didn't weigh.
Yeah.
But there was 114 teams that did not weigh in this event. My point is people caught them. I mean, they smoked them over at Rayburn. So, again, the fish were biting this past weekend, which we kind of predicted. Mm-hmm. Warm weather was coming through, warm rain. I meant to ask him what the water temperature was, and I bet it's in the upper 50s already. I bet it's probably 56, 57 anyway. It was 52 during the cold
51,
weather.
52.
So it's probably warmed up to
the weekend before, which was, who do we interview that? Rambo, the Row Trap tournament.
Corey.
It was 50 to 51, so
Right.
it's definitely rising over there. But again, that takes us into the Toyota Series this week, which all those guys are over there practicing. Now I can imagine we got some muddy water. Water's rising. All right, 3-day total.
3-day total.
Give me your prediction.
Whew.
3 days.
If it stays the way it is, somebody could bust 75 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
25. I could see somebody smoking them.
Ooh.
That's 3 25-pound days.
Yeah.
But that could be a 32-pound day mixed in with a 22-pound day. I'll back it off. I'll go to 68.
Now I could see that happening. Somebody's gonna have that mega bag, 25 to 27 pounds, and then having 18 back-to-back days. So you just figure.
But it won't. It won't shock me if somebody lights a day up like a 35-pound bag.
I'm gonna say about 62. I'm gonna be in the 62 range.
Yeah.
20. There's gonna be a big 25 to 30-pound stringer weight. Like I said, and then you just can't sustain that. The fish are moving so much right now, but they can have back-to-back 18 days.
That's where I think it's going to help these anglers because there are going to be waves moving in. Right. A lot of these fish have been out deep. They've gotten a lot of pressure on them, but now some of these females are wanting to pull up with this warmer weather. And if it stays 57, 58 degrees, possibly with the sunshine hitting that 60-degree mark, then females are going to sit on top of that grass, and they're going to be accessible, and a lot of guys are going to smoke them. And it's going to be a matter of you're probably going to have, Kevin, 2 to 3 big bites, and I'm talking 6-pounders a day to possibly win this tournament.
Well, the good thing about this is it's the way it's setting up. You got so many fish coming shallow, but obviously the deep bite is still happening. People are going to be able to spread out a little bit and do several different things. Of course, the deep bite is happening. Not really just catching a whole lot of fish, but obviously those big ones are setting up. But the shallow water bites with that warm water coming up, I mean, it's happening. So,
and we just came off a full moon.
Yeah.
So next week I think will be a new moon. Which I like a new moon. I like a new moon better than I do a full moon anytime. I am not.
But the
moon
water
guy.
is rising and it's getting warmer. And
Yeah.
I don't see any.
Yeah.
There's no cold mornings, cold nights
the next
any
10
this
days.
week.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for that Toyota event, so. I look for it to be a good event. I really do. I'm sitting here. I'm gonna say 62 to 63 wins this thing. But so what makes the cut? What's 10th place to make championship day? Now that is where they're going to be just 30, 40 guys competing right there. I mean, it's gonna take 16 a day, 17 a day.
Yeah. To make that final 10, you're probably going to be pushing what? You think 35?
No.
You don't think it'll be that much?
Well,
I mean, that's the first two.
Yeah.
It could be 35.
Yeah.
It could be a 30 to 35 range.
Yeah. I would say that.
That's going to be the benchmark probably where it could be.
Somewhere right there. It's going to be congested.
Yeah.
There's going to be
Yeah,
a
there's gonna be a
whole
bunch of bags in that
ounces,
range.
a
That's
bunch
right.
of bags right there in those ounces. But good luck to everybody over there fishing
Yeah.
the Toyota event this week.
Also, ABA will be over there, Open Series. I know I'm fishing something over there. Probably 110 on our side on that event.
Well, that's Saturday, and then the Outlaw Sweet 16 is Sunday.
Yeah. And
So-
Toyota starts on Thursday.
It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
ABA Saturday. Outlaw Sweet 16 is Sunday.
Right.
So
4 or 5 days, well, really a whole week.
Yeah.
It's going to get a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and but anyway, good luck to everybody heading over to Rayburn. If you don't know what else to do, pick up a trap. Just pick up a trap and chunk and wine because they are definitely biting over there. All right. Next thing, Bayou Outdoors Boat Show Tournament. Kevin, you got something?
I don't have those. I thought you had those.
No, I don't have any results.
Actually, I do have them. It's here on my phone.
Yeah, I never could find
Mr.
them.
Mike Eccles, we finally got those released here today. So, for those of you who don't know, the Bayou Outdoor Boat Show Tournament is held in Shreveport, and they have, I think, 10 or 12 lakes. Am I right, Steve, that they can choose from to fish?
The only one that was eliminated this year was Grand Bayou because it's actually drawn down right now, and you couldn't even launch your boat at Grand Bayou. But you could fish Toledo Bend, Bistineau, Red River, Caddo,
Halston.
Cross, Black Bay Halston. I think there's one lake in East Texas that's a power plant lake, Pinkston.
Lake of the Pines.
I don't know if Lake of the Pines is on there. I think it was. Yeah. Anyway, there's 7 or 8 lakes on there. They took Black Lake. Black Lake was on there.
Black Lake was on there.
And so
it
was down to 9 lakes instead of 10.
They can choose any lake they want to go to. It's a 2-fish limit. Right. So on the 2-fish limit, the winners had a total weight of 1475 with an 883 big bass, and that was Harry Jones and Thomas Liner.
Yeah.
And rumor, what I'm understanding is they chose Caddo Lake. That's where they won it out of. Yeah, not surprising there. So they won a total of $3,000. Second place was Bo Keith and David Keith. They had a total of $1,277.
Those came off Bistineau.
That was Bistineau.
And I know Bo Keith and they're great fishermen, especially on Bistineau. They're really good. So it didn't shock me either.
Paid all the way down to 25th place. 25th place with 2 fish was $746. Some good friend of ours, Juddy Hamish and Randy Gant, right here from Natchitoches. And I tell you what, Steve, when you go through here, Natchitoches was well represented in these standings here for North Louisiana.
Yeah. Well, good deal. That's always a great event. Did you see how many were in there?
I didn't. It doesn't have the total that didn't weigh, wasn't on there.
Right. It's always a good turnout. I'm sure probably had 110 or more, I would imagine, in that event. It used to be a really big deal. The boat show tournament always kicked off the fishing season, but with COVID-19, all these boat shows being canceled, Bayou Outdoors did an in-house boat show, and so. That's what more and more dealers are going to do this year. They'll do stuff in-house, and so keep up with your local listings as to who's doing that. And I'm sure H&W may be doing something soon. The boat shop, all those guys that are in that Shreveport market will probably all be doing things as this spring continues.
Yeah.
So,
guys, we want to talk real quick about Bass Cash Bash. Okay.
Yes.
Please go get registered. Again, I was watching the weigh-in, the Outlaw Outdoors weigh-in, which Outlaw Outdoors does a great live stream of all their weigh-ins. I was driving back from Lafayette on Saturday, and 2-hour drive. I got to watch the entire way, and it just hit perfect when I was driving back. And I mean, literally, a guy, and I seen Clint Wade say it all. You've got a tag, and he gets up there on stage and he weighs in the fish with a tag. The tag is still on the fish, and the guy's not registered. I don't know if he got a check in the tournament or not. I think he had like 17, so he would have got a check. But that's still $1,500. Guys, it costs $50 to register for this thing.
Yeah, and you can actually do multiple lakes. If you fish Toledo Bend, Rayburn, Caddo, Fork, Lake, any of those lakes like that, those 4 lakes right there, alone, if you go to those lakes, it pays to do the multiple lakes. That's what I did. It's a $100 bill. I'm registered now through the end of July, July week, or July the 4th. So this doesn't make any sense not to be in these.
Don't be that guy.
Yeah.
And last year there was a boat tag caught and a truck tag caught that people were not registered. I mean, what was that, 30, 40 grand that you're throwing out the window for $50?
And guys, they're releasing these fish, a lot of them at the boat ramps where you're launching your boats. They're literally, you can go to their Facebook page and PD will show you, here's the truck tag right here in the 2-pounder, guys. It's right here at Cypress Bend Park or Sam Rayburn over here at Humphrey Pavilion. We just dropped it in the lake. It's right here. Come get it, and so, man, it just doesn't make any sense not to be in that. It's just kind of crazy. Plus, you get a T-shirt, good-looking T-shirt, and it's just worthy cause. I mean, PD does it right. He wants you to catch those fish.
Absolutely.
He wants to give that money away.
And he's been doing this now for, I know, 5 or 6 years.
At least 5 or 6 years,
and just does an awesome job with it. So make sure to get registered. The ABA Solo 150 coming up on Toledo Bend. Steve, I'll let you kind of talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, we got that coming up. And, of course, the registration for this has been a little slow. There's 2 divisions in the country, folks. There's the Eastern Division, which includes, let's see here. I think it's, let me just look at it here. The Solo 150. It's going to be late. Well, let's just do this one here. Thought I had it right here.
Well, ours is Toledo Bend, Rayburn, and then Lakeview Fall in Oklahoma.
Right. That's the lakes that the Southwest Division is considered. And then on the southeastern side, it's Lake Eufaula, Gunnersville, and Chickamauga. And the dates for our division in this region is next weekend, or not this coming weekend, but the next weekend, first weekend in February, 5th and 6th is Toledo Bend out of Cypress Bend Park. The second one is on Sam Rayburn, March 26th and 27th. And then the third one is at Eufaula, Oklahoma, April 30th and May the 1st. So those are the 3 events. Yes, they are scheduled on top of the Toyota Series, I think, for 2 of those. The second 2 for sure. But next year, that will all change. But if you're looking for a great circuit and a chance to win $20,000, register for this. It's going to be a great circuit. I look for next year to be even better. It's going to continue to grow.
Now, and you don't have to fish the whole circuit.
No, you
don't. They did not get the full 150 register for the whole circuit. So there's open spots. If you want to fish just the Toledo Bend tournament next week coming up, you can register it. If you want to fish Toledo and Rayburn or just Sam Rayburn, you can register for those. So you don't have to fish the whole circuit. You can register for those individual events.
Yeah, if you're up in that Oklahoma region, you fish Eufaula a lot. Hey, get in, jump in this. It's really a great circuit and a great opportunity. Again, the purpose of this event, this new circuit, is to appeal to guys that, instead of paying $1,800 to fish a 3-day event, you're paying $600 to fish a 2-day event for a chance at possibly $20,000 first place prize. So I think it's going to just going to take a little time to grab a hold. And next year's schedule will be a lot better as Chris Wayan is in charge of this. And he's already said he's already working on next year's schedule to schedule around all the other events that are going on. And that's hard to do, Kevin. If you've never scheduled a tournament on Rayburn, Toledo Bend, Lake of the Pine, good luck, because it is hard to find a date that's not taken.
Now, let me say this for my Toledo Bend guys. When we get circuits like this come to Toledo Bend, we need to get registered for them. For you Toledo Bend guys, we're starting to lose our tournaments, and it's because of lack of participation.
Yep.
I know it's tough right now, but
it's tough on everybody.
As a Toledo Bend homebody, as a Toledo Bend local, we have to show up to fish these events to keep them coming to Toledo Bend.
Yeah, that's well said, and a lot of truth in that statement. There are circuits that are starting to pull away from Toledo Bend because of the lack of participation. Yes, we all know Sam Rayburn is where it's at right now. We understand that. But lakes go in cycles. Toledo Bend will come back. And so hopefully this spring will be a good spring, and hopefully encourage circus to make that trip back to Toledo Bend. But again, like Kevin said, if you're local, don't give up on it. To keep these tournaments coming, because I can tell you what's happened on Red River. If you notice, we don't have tournaments on Red River anymore because people quit fishing it. And that hurt the circuits, and the tournament trails quit going there.
Right, absolutely. And we don't want that to happen to Toledo Bend. And it never will, but it's just nowhere near what it used to be. And our Toledo Bend locals, we've got to come out and fish these events to keep them coming back. But moving forward, kind of looking at the schedule for the next 3-4 weeks, and we've kind of already alluded to all of these. But again, this week, January 28th through the 30th, the Toyota Series on Sam Rayburn. On Saturday, the 30th, is the ABA out of Castle Boykin.
Yeah, that's the Open Series. That's the South Texas division.
January 31st is the Outlaw Outdoors Sweet 16 event. That is on Sunday. And then, next week on Toledo Bend, February 5th and 6th, the ABA Solo 150. Busy February on Toledo Bend. Then the very next weekend, February 13th, Bass Champs and the BFL. Bass Champs is going out of Cypress Bend. BFL, I'm sure, is going out of San Miguel. So both of those events are on the 13th, February 13th. So fixing to be busy around Toledo Bend.
Yeah, and all you guys fishing the BFL and Bass Champs, don't be afraid to get over there the week, especially you Bass Champ guys. That's your last chance to fish is the weekend before anyway. Jump in that Solo 150. I think you'll really enjoy it. You'll like how it's run, and it should be a really good tournament. And the BFL guys, what a great way. You're going to be on the lake anyway. What the heck? Put the little money up, go over and fish, and get ready for that BFL the next weekend. Who knows? It might pay off for you. You might learn something, especially at the ABA weigh-in. Who knows? Yep. But anyway, all right. Well, Kevin, that's going to wrap us up.
Just give a shout out to the sponsors. 3J's 4-Way, Cypress Knee Outdoors, the Boat Shop located up in Shreveport, Full Garment Support Dealer, Yamaha dealer, Pride Rods out of Texas, the finest ever built by Mr. Billy Kistler. Who else we got? Keys Toledo Bend Tackle.
Yep. Straight
across Pendleton Bridge, right there at the Crease Creek Public Boat Ramp. Stop by, get all your fishing tackle right there, and the fishing report if you need one. And the Lakes Insurance Agency, owned by Mr. Clark Moore, local guide there on Sam Rayburn. Stop by and let him give you an insurance quote.
And again, guys, we can't say thank you enough. If you're interested in being a sponsor of this program, we're averaging over 4,000 views per week on our shows now. It's that time of year. We knew it would pick back up. We'd love to have you be a part of our program. We're very reasonable, and we'd love to have you just message us on our Facebook page, and we will be more than happy to contact you. We'll get back in touch with you, send you a packet, maybe meet you one day, maybe may take you to lunch. And but anyway, holler at us. Let us know if you're interested. We'd love to have you. And again, for all you out there that tune us in each and every week, thank you. We really do. We appreciate it. Kevin and I appreciate it. And looking forward to seeing some of you guys this next weekend over at Rayburn. I know I'll be there. Kevin will be at Toledo Bend. And the next weekend we'll all be at Toledo Bend. So either way, look us up, track us down, wave at us, holler at us, pull us aside. We'd love to hear from you. And if you got any ideas about topics on the show you'd like to hear about, let us know those as well. So if you want to continue to be a better angler, you got to continue to watch Tackle Talk Live. Have a good week.